Okay, let's talk about Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is one of those games that, whether you played it back in 1995 on the Super Nintendo or now in the present tense 21 years later, it's always going to have something resonating in your head and you're not sure what it is. It could be a number of any things. It could be the great graphics driven by the art design of Akira Toriyama from Dragon Ball fame. It could be the really beautiful soundtrack, or the great story where you play as Chrono and this gang of unlikely heroes traveling through time and ultimately trying to stop the world from utter destruction from this ultimate evil being that is Lavos. It's just a really special game, and that's what Wings of Time is all about. Wings of Time is a musical tribute to Chrono Trigger in the sense that I want to take the listeners on a journey through the game. I want to tell the story of the game through the music of the game, if that makes sense. So starting with the very first track on the record is called Presentiment. Now, this is the first thing that you hear when you power up the game and you see the pendulum swing back and forth. You hear this really haunting piano melody. And in order to kind of recreate that feel, I've sampled a bunch of different clocks and had them going kind of similar to Time from Pink Floyd back on the Dark Side of the Moon album. You hear all these clocks panned, hard left, hard right, right in the center, reverberated, echoed, and ultimately it comes up to this thing where you hear the main melody and you just get chills when you hear it because you know you're about to embark on a really, really great journey. You'll find a number of different songs that are from different parts in the game, of course. Whether it's, the very first part in the game, which is Millennial Fair, which would be one of my favorite songs, all the way to the tail end of the game, which is the boss battle with Lavos. Memories of Green, which is the 1000 AD overworld theme, that has a melody that harkens back to Corridor of Time. The main kind of Chrono Trigger theme that you hear at the beginning of the game, that melody is present throughout these songs on the game, as well as songs that are on Wings of Time, which is probably the most interesting thing to me, is because you can tie all these songs together just by using motifs and recurring themes to make everything sound kind of similar or congruent, so everything blends together really nicely. I'm really happy with the production standpoint of this album. I've worked a long time on getting the mixes just right, and that definitely is helped by the instruments that I used on this record. I used a vintage set of drums, 1970 vistalite drums from Ludwig, the original run of 1970 vistalite drums, blue bass drum, yellow tom, green tom, and a chrome snare drum. Has that really great classic feel to it. And of course, I recorded the drums at Subcat Studios in Syracuse, New York, my hometown studio, in the big wide open Studio A room. And you can't go wrong with having these big boomy drums being recorded in a wide open room. Not only that, I also used a vintage 1978 Rickenbacker 4001, which is like music to my ears. It's just like butter melting all over you. I don't know, the only way to describe it. It's just got a smooth but yet harsh sound. Again, drawing from my influences, Rush, and yes, they use the Rickenbacker type sound, and that's the sound that I'm going for with these songs, and I think I've managed to capture it pretty well. Wings of Time is not only a collection of what I believe to be my favorite songs from the Chrono Trigger game, but also a collection of really great melodies put together, a really beautiful arrangement of songs, whether it's Memories of Green or Wind Scene that I've arranged for on piano. Or even, something as soft and quiet as Bottom of the Night, or the evil looming Lavos final battle boss theme that I have on the record here. It's a really great collection of songs, and I think whether you're a avid gamer, Chrono Trigger fan, RPG fan, or just somebody who appreciates music, I think you can't go wrong by listening to this. Wings of Time will be available exclusively on ericladd.bandcamp.com, EREKLADD.bandcamp.com. On December 6th, 2016. So if you don't have an epoch and can't travel into the future, you'll just have to wait it out a little more longer. But I promise the wait is going to be worth it, with great guitar solos, awesome big drums, quiet guitars, acoustic guitars, beautiful piano, and it's just a full package. So whether you love music, Chrono Trigger, RPGs, this is definitely going to be something for you.